Okay. Ich glaube, es kann losgehen. Aktion Olivenbaumrettung. Heute Nacht minus 12 Grad. Mal sehen. Okay. Das Kabel ist jetzt rum. Mal sehen. Angeschlossen. Mal sehen, ob es funktioniert. Läuft gerade. Mal sehen, ob es warm wird. So. Das war's. An Strom angeschlossen. Sollte bis minus 40 reichen. Yeah, hi there. We're at the cottage again. This is my precious olive tree, my Italian olive tree, and I'm smoking my Amica Nobile. One of my Italian pipes. I really like that. Although I'm, as you probably know, I'm pretty much into the Mercian thing, and mainly smoking Mercian. But from time to time, when I go to a bar, I go for one of my Italian pipes. Yeah. This winter, a cold front hit us. Well, as many other Germans, I have an olive tree, an Italian olive tree, and there's a good reason. I don't know if it's a good reason, but there's a reason for that, and try to explain that to you later on. So, and when the cold front hit us, I was pretty sure I had to do something. So I tried to insulate everything and try to keep him warm and so on. But then suddenly, temperature dropped down to minus 16, 18 degrees for several days, for a week even. And I knew that this was about life and death for my precious olive tree. So I really tried everything to save him. So I ordered a heating cable from Amazon. But with all the pandemic and everything, Amazon was late. So the cable arrived, I don't know, on some day in the evening, so I don't know, 2000 or something. Immediately got out here in the snow, minus 16 degrees, and tried to wrap that around this heating cable and try to do everything I could to make him survive. That was quite a battle. Turned out in the end So when spring came, so I already saw, well, he's losing his leaves and doesn't feel well and so on. I was pretty sad. About that. So, but you know, nature, I don't know, nature is strong. It always gives us some kind of hope. And after a while, you see, life came back. So he made it, but well, he's under shock still. But I guess he gonna be fine. But he probably gonna need several years, perhaps even. So, what is this all about? This Italian thing? Why do I have an olive tree? Why do many Germans have an olive tree? What is it about the Germans in Italy? And as I like to say, the German heart rests in Italy. That's an expression here. Let's try to explain that. And I try to talk about some good tobacco that a dear friend from Italy sent me. And perhaps I even show you some of my Italian pipes here. Yeah, let's do this. Let's find another place. Yeah, I don't know, sitting here, enjoying the smoke. Weather's alright, atmosphere's alright. Joining you, so means having good company. When a moment is just right, just like that. Let's say you're on a warm evening, even a night. You have another bottle of wine, showering with friends, just sitting down, just everything is all right. And you sit outside, stars above you perhaps. This will be the moment in Germany when somebody will point out, well, isn't that like being in Italy? So, and this might tell you something about the special relationship, or well, that's one-sided in this case. So the feelings that many Germans have for Italy. So it's just, if the moment is just right, just everything is all right. So that's the moment where you say, oh, well, it's like being in Italy. So so there are historical reasons for that. So of course, so on history between Italy and Germany goes far back, 2,000 years. So many parts of Germany joined the Roman Empire, were joined or were occupied. So whatever you may call that. So that's always a mixture of everything. So Roman Empire was attractive for many tribes and regions, perhaps even, and what was for other reasons, for other regions and other regions wasn't so attractive. So let's say this part of Germany where I live in, so that was called Germania Magna by the Romans, so that was never conquered and never occupied. So, but other regions in the south and at the Rhine, they joined the Roman Empire. And yeah, that's so until today, the differences between these regions who joined the Roman Empire and who didn't, yeah, there are many differences between those regions. So, but anyway, for all the Germans in the Middle Ages, at least, so the Roman Empire and the antique, there was some kind of myth. There was some kind of something you wanna reach up to. And the German king always tried to become the emperor, and the emperor was the emperor, of course, of the Roman Empire, even in medieval times. So later on they called that Roman Empire of German nation because it was ruled by a German king. But the tradition was always there, and the thought in the minds, so that the Roman Empire So that means Italy in this case. So they didn't make a difference between that. So that means this is something you want to reach out to, and something very special, something precious. And so the eagle became the national symbol later on of Germany. And this eagle is exactly the eagle, the Roman eagle, that they used to carry with them when they were marching with the legion. So that's where the German eagle comes from. Comes directly from the Roman Empire. So because German emperors felt in the Middle Ages as the heirs of the Roman Empire, protecting the heritage. So, and then later on, 18th century, 19th century, Goethe and all those writers and intellectuals, they like to go to Italy, seeing the remains, the ruins, and everything. That was mixed up with German Romantic. And nearly every household, so, of course, if they had the money, but in nearly every German household, you could find some paintings of Roman antiques and sites and romantic places and so on. So that was very, very popular. And that kept on going, even over 2 world wars, and after the war, Italy was the first place to go for Germans after the war. So, and that was something that seemed quite natural in some ways. So my parents, they started seeing Italy and going on vacation to Italy in their early 20s, and they do until today. So my parents visited Italy more than 50 years every year. And my father got an olive tree, and he got his olive tree right from his Italian host. So my father's an engineer, a very practical man, and where he stayed at the house for several years, always coming for vacation and so on. And, well, and this may sound a bit German to you, so, but there were some things bothering him. So about, I don't know, something that didn't work quite well, electricity or something in this little cottage where my parents stayed in. And the painting on the wall wasn't really fresh and so on. So my father packed paint and all the tools he needed to fix that during his holidays. So during his holidays, when he stayed at the cottage, so he used his time to fix the cottage. Doing some paint on the wall, fixing the electricity. So I don't know if that's German, but so and the host gave him. He was an olive farmer, so he gave him an olive tree. So in reward, so and said, "Yeah, take that with you. We'll always remember you of this holiday and Italy." So and perhaps this little story tells a bit about this kind of relationship. So my father was really happy about that. He's very proud of his olive tree. And in fact, there is some kind of maintenance guy. So he's coming in autumn, picking up the olive tree, bringing that to a special site, facility, where they take care of all these olive trees. So he's going around in Bremen and picking up all these olive trees in autumn, yeah, to protect that for the winter. Perhaps I should have done that. So he's bringing them back in spring then. So, and there, yeah, I don't want to say many, but there are several companies doing services like that. Yeah, so my father got this olive tree, so got a piece of Italy that reminds him of Italy and Italian lifestyle and all the things common with that. So and I don't know, that seems to be some kind of important for many Germans. I don't know. My father likes Italian shoes, Italian clothes, of course. So very popular. Yeah. So I just try to explain that there is a special relationship, and it's not always easy. I don't want to say that. So there is a saying here, and there might be some truth to it. They say, well, the Germans they love Italy, but they don't respect the Italians, and the Italians they respect the Germans, but they don't love them. So, and as always, that's not the whole story, but as always, so there might be a little bit truth to it. I don't know. So many Germans like Italian cars, but they just like the style. They're not convinced by the technical features or the quality, perhaps, or something like that. But all right, these are all stereotypes. We know that. But after all, at this point, I think I have to apologize. Should have done this for a long time. So I couldn't really believe that. I never did a video on the channel about Italian tobacco. I showed some Italian pipes, but I should have done something about Italian tobacco. So about a year ago, nearly a year ago, one of my Italian watchers, one of my Italian friends, asked me, can I send you some tobacco stuff? Can I send you a little package? I want to pack something for you that you probably can't get your hands on where you're at. That might be interesting for you. And I said, yeah, well, Giuliano, that's his name, I would be very pleased. So that would be great. So if you could send me something I couldn't get my hands on. I'm always interested in these things. So yeah, long story short, so package arrived. I have it here, and I was overwhelmed so by the things he packed for me. So and that was so kind, and everything was so thoughtfully packed and everything. So I'm gonna show this to you. Well, you know I don't do yabos, but you see the package here, but it is so overwhelming. So that's so carefully packed, everything, and so much stuff in it, interesting stuff. So and came with a letter, and with Geronimo, who has really a lot of insight in all these things, explained to me what he was sending for me. So kind. So that was written in September 2020. Jam, see that? My apology for that. So I'm so late, but I always wanted to do that. Well, you can see, because I didn't unpack the package and put everything out and so on. But I tried everything, so of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't talk about that. Of course. So I just tell you what he says. I don't know if I read everything. So here we are at last. You will find in the box Cemetarian pipe tobacco and cigar samples. Just a few words to introduce now. It's heavy Kentucky. On terms of complexity, they're probably far from being the best mixers in the world. But at least I have something to try you wouldn't find outside the Italian market. So now he's describing the tobaccos. So he's first talking about Italia, Commune, or Comune, the common one, and Forte. Yeah, those are the three pipe tobaccos I want to talk about later on. But first of all, I want to show you something else. But don't be stubborn here. So these are the three pipe tobaccos. We're going to talk about that. So yeah, and we will come back to that. So the thing is, yeah, they are produced by Toscano Cigars manufacturer. Toscano Cigars manufacturer. That's the thing you all probably know. I guess you all know these. Where do I have it? These classical Italian cigars. So in Germany, they became quite popular during the last few years. So that's what they look like. And smoked in many Italo westerns. That's what they call it here. Yeah, by Clint Eastwood and other guys. So there's a huge variety manufactured by this producer, and there's even on this, that's more for my German friends. So because I don't know if you can get your hands on that if you're not in Germany. So I found this one at Ronnie's shop. He had it there on the table. So I don't know. He had 10 or more of these, and I said, "Yeah, well, Ronnie, can I purchase one?" And I said, "Yeah, well, just take it." So, and this is really nice because you can see the whole variety what they produce, they put it up here. So it's all in the book. And then there's another part that is about the history of Italian tobacco and Italian cigar, and I especially like this one. So because this is really well, this is not just I don't know, commercial or whatever. This is really thoughtfully done about the history of Italian tobacco and Italian cigars, of course. So, but this comes by the company that's producing this this standard, I just want to call it this standard Italian cigar, in a huge variety. Well, in the end, it's always about Kentucky, of course. But if you like the Kentucky, yeah, I think you're really gonna be excited about the variety of different cigars they offer. And there's a video on the channel about mixing your own cigar leaf blend, where I suggested to take one of these Italian cigars and add that to a good mixture of different components from natural tobaccos, just to have this hint of cigar leaf to go into the cigar blend. Well, I think at this point I have to confess that there's something I really like, and I know many of you may not appreciate that, but I like this one. So this one is this is called Castagno here, Raffinato. Yeah. So this one is a mixture. So when I heard about it, so they do in so they do in a small line of Kentucky leaf cigars, so that traditional stuff, and they doing some aroma on them, or they putting that into something. And this one, I don't like any of these, because normally I hate cigars with aroma. I'm not into that. But in this case, there is a very special liquor Italian nut liquor from hazelnut. And I really like that. And I heard they're doing this with this liquor, this hazelnut stuff. And I really like two things. One of them is Kentucky and the other is hazelnut. So I thought you can't go wrong with that, and I was right. So this is really, I don't know, this is incredible stuff. So anyway, let's go back to the serious things. So where have I been? I lost track. So yeah, there are many different cigars produced by this company. Huge variety, but I was even more surprised when Joanna told me there are even smaller companies, independent companies, doing their own stuff and I don't know, trying to reach another level. And that's something we sometimes find in the world. So especially, let's say I was surprised to find that in Turkey. So very small groups, small companies, ambitious companies coming out with their own stuff, trying to do things better, even better on a higher level, and that seems the case here. So let's continue here in this letter and show you what he sent me, so that you're gonna be surprised about that. So now these are all, so the traditional ones, those pipe tobaccos, quite old mixtures dating back to the first half of the 20th century. Yeah, so 5 years ago. So it's produced by Compagnia Toscano Cigar. Yeah, that's the classical one, which is based near Arezzo, in the Tiber Valley. It's a small and young independent producer. They grow themselves the tobaccos and produce traditional Toscano-like Italian cigars. Yeah, that's one of these different cigars he sent. I don't want to talk about all these cigars, but I want to show you the variety. And this is really nice, I think. So, yeah, one of them is this Tradizionale. So, and I just opened them. So I've smoked all of these cigars. Yeah, not all, but I tried every different style. You see, very traditional, but what comes with a slightly different mixture. And then very interesting to see these varieties. So, and they have always written on the side what this is about. So the maturing time, and you already see that the style is a bit different. So, and it's handmade. You can see that, and this is fantastic. This is fantastic. If you're into the Kentucky, of course. So, show you another one. This is the Affinado, and you can already see that they're really different. So, yeah, besides the very traditional manufactured things we can get in Europe, at least, and I think it also in the US, because they go on the export now for quite a while. So this is another one. I really like this. So, but I think one of the most interesting things I found in here, that would be this one. So this Mastro Tonabuoni. Mastro Tonabuoni. Tabacchi da pipa. Excuse my Italian, so I really have to apologize for that, so should be better. Yeah, that's 100% Kentucky. So, and they say that's pipe tobacco. Well, now we take a look inside. So, what do we find? Look at that. My grandfather, he would be happy about that. Look at that. So, these are all pieces of cigar production. So it's just the stuff they're leaving behind. So they're just cutting the edges off from on top of them or whatever. So and they just pack that because it's good tobacco. There's no need for, I don't know, getting rid of that. So you can buy this in a box and then you can use that for mixing. My grandfather would just have taken these and just put them into the pipe, so so he always did when he had a cigar with the rest of the cigarette, just smoking the rest of the pipe. So this is really interesting. This is extraordinary. So because never saw something like that. I've never seen something comparable to that. But it's a good idea. So there should be more cigar producers thinking about something like that. So there's a huge variety of different cigars and small producers even. So I could go into the details because a little bit more. So because Jerome told me about, but well, that's probably not my point or what you're interested in. So because on one hand you can't get it probably, so except you live in Italy. On the other hand, I won't talk about pipe tobacco. So, and I'm always interested in what is the traditional tobacco of a country. So you know, I already told about French tobaccos and the traditional stuff they have in French, like the Caporal. And other stuff. So many countries have a traditional tobacco. I like to call that governmental tobacco because these tobaccos go back to a time when tobacco was something for the government, so so ruled by the government. And that's the same thing here pretty much. So these tobaccos go back to a time when everything belonged to the government when it comes to tobacco. So so my question always is it worth a try? So what is it about this tobacco? What is it about these tobaccos? So let's go back to Jamel's fantastic description here. So let's start with the commune. The commune. Well, it's not communist, but it just means the normal stuff. So. Or is it just stuff for the normal guys? Yeah. What does he tell? So, let's see on the package. Blend di tabacco, Kentucky Italiano. So I don't have to translate that. Explains itself. So, so Jamel tells me, so this one and Forte, this one, produced by the Toscano Cigars Manufacturer. So that's the classical company. Yeah. So the commune, this one. Yeah, this one is a barley-based classical Kentucky tobacco. If you open that, you have a first whiff. Yeah, you can just smell that. You can just smell that. I just show you the tobacco. I think they say in that description that it's a shack, but I don't know. I don't think it's a shack. So that's a more kind of ribbon. So my tobacco now finally got a bit dry, but I hope you can see that. It got a bit dry, but still very smokable. So originally it came in perfect condition. Perfect condition. And this tobacco is earthy, has some chocolate notes to it. That's everything we would expect from this kind of tobacco. And quality actually is pretty good. So that's pretty good. For those of you who like the Cemois, for example, or one of the other, the Caporal, one of the other traditional tobaccos, I think this even hint better. But this one has written Kentucky all over it. So if you're into that, it's fine tobacco. Manufacturing is on a pretty high level here. So first I'll talk about the Italia now, because so these two, the Commune and the Forte, they're some kind of brothers. I'll tell you why. But first I want to talk about the Italia, because this is a different animal. So this one is made from well, Kentucky of course, but also there's Virginia and Turkish Oriental added. There's Turkish Oriental added. So yeah, and when you, I think they say it's a natural, but if you take a whiff of that, you get the impression there's something, a little something, not a top flavor or something, but probably something they use during the process, yeah, to get the fermentation restarted. Humidity is alright, or at least was alright when it reached me. Show you the tobacco. This one is a different animal. So why is that? So this is because this tobacco, this is more about our reality. And the interesting thing on this tobacco is that, for me at least, you have this slightly, you have this very typical Oriental aftertaste, in a good way, So you can feel the Oriental's melting everything down, brings everything down to the middle pretty much. You know, gives you, I don't know, some relaxation from the Kentucky. So it's a fine tobacco, natural tobacco. You can smoke that. It doesn't have any sharpness, or doesn't have any sharpness, but that's just if you're used for having natural tobaccos. None of these tobaccos is made for an empty stomach. That's for sure. None of these tobaccos. And that goes for, and that's my experience at least, that goes for most of the governmental tobaccos. All these old-fashioned tobaccos, so grandfather tobaccos, they're not produced for an empty stomach. So, speaking of empty stomach, yeah, this one is probably the king. So the most interesting tobacco. I don't know, interesting not in a way of complexity, so, but this is Kentucky Forte, and it is Forte. It really means that. So, and that's what you find out on the first whiff. Yeah. Yeah. This is really cigar leaf. So, and it is really good. It is really good. And doesn't make me wonder that if you take a look at tobaccoreviews.com, you're going to find out that this tobacco is the one with the highest rating. I don't think there are many ratings on that, because what a special interest tobacco, but so they say blend con foglie apicali, so that means top leaves. The Kentucky Toscano, so that means they using the highest quality leaves of this Toscano tobacco. Yeah, take a look at that. This is really an animal. So but really good, really good. Speaking of that, I think I just fired that up here in my. I promised to tell you one or two pipes. Show you one or two of my Italian pipes. I think this was my first Italian pipe ever. So this is a Brebbia. Look at that. A Brebbia. Showed that already in a video, I think, in one of my early videos. Nice little pipe. So I don't know. That was my first Italian experience. So in several ways. So first, when I saw that, I couldn't really decide if I think that's really ugly or that's fantastic. So and in the end, I decided that it's fantastic, and I never regret that. That pipe gave me great service for many smokes. Yeah, I became some kind of fan of. So, and this one. So this one is a Rinaldo, and that's called, so handmade in Italy, it says, Ambiente is the name, and look at that. So this pipe, I don't know, when I think about Italian pipes, I always think about something like that. So this is so, I don't know, this is a pipe where probably everyone who knows a thing about Italian pipes would say, yeah, well, I can see that's an Italian pipe. This pipe is so Italian. But I also have a Savinelli Non-Pare. That's a classical one. So I like that one. So the mouthpiece isn't made from acrylic, so that's a bit difficult sometimes, but. And my Lanatra. So this perhaps this Lanatra I can't read Speciale. I don't know if that's the name, but this is one of my Lanatra pipes, and I really like this pipe because this gave me incredible service. I smoked that for I don't know, for several years, always in my pocket. A great smoker. And you see this little duck. I think they don't do this anymore. I don't know, because someone got injured by that or whatever. This little, yeah. Someone is always injured. So anyway, damn. Kentucky is hitting me, and that's my big Sir Jacopo. Well, I don't have to tell you about Sir Jacopo, Maestro di Pia, the Natra. I don't know. When it comes to pipes, there is something special about these Italian pipes. And I'm not pretty sure why, from a historical perspective, why it is that that these Italian pipe makers are so extraordinary. Can't be coincidence that so many incredible pipe makers, Italian pipe makers, they have a certain style, but it's not only about the style. So in this case, no German pipe smoker would ever think that that Italian pipes are fashionable, but they have a lack of quality or something like that. No, nobody would say something like that. We all know that these Italian pipes, that they reach the highest level of quality. They really reach the highest level of quality, and that goes for Sir Jacopo and all these great pipe makers. Yeah, they do an incredible stuff. Let me just take a drink here. Yeah, all right. I'll just fire the 40. Let's go for the 40. Let's be brave. So this tobacco is really interesting because This is so Cigar. Doesn't make you wonder. Where's my temper? I would like to suggest something when it comes to this tobacco. See, because this is cigar leaf, and could be a pleasure to enjoy that in the company of some cigar smokers and so on. You're sitting in a lounge, and sometimes that's the case for me. Sitting in a lounge and surrounded by cigar smokers. Sometimes I'm the only pipe smoker. And then you don't want to really go for a heavy aromatic to offend the other guys, or perhaps not even for a leather gear to provoke them, to show that you have the stronger stuff or something like that. So perhaps you just want to enjoy the company, so you might go for a cigar leaf blend. But there's something that, so pipe smoking is different in smoking itself. So especially, I don't know, that's for me at least. I like to smoke like that. So a lot is different to cigar smoking. If you take the cigar, you take a good portion, now that's it. You go for the retrohale or wherever, so, and that's it for several minutes perhaps even. So if you do it like that with a cigar leaf blend, especially with something so strong like the 40, you get another level of enjoyment. So that's what I think. So this tobacco isn't really good for enjoying and puffing like we sometimes like to do, going hard on the tobacco, like I like to call it that, going hard on the tobacco. That's what I like to do. But these tobaccos are made for that. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Probably there's so many things I forgot probably. Yeah. This is good tobacco. Really is. Strong but good. Yeah, so my point in the end is that there's so many things in Italian tobacco culture. If it is about the pipes, we already know that. So I think every one of us knows about Italian pipes. Well, this is just famous. But all the culture behind this Italian tobacco stuff, this Kentucky-based tobacco world, or world of Kentucky tobacco that is down there in Italy. Yeah, this is something, I don't want to say that's hidden. It's coming up now, at least for the Toscano cigars and so on. But I think that's underrated in some ways. So I would like to see these tobaccos in coming up here on the market or something like that. I would really like to. I think there may be customers to enjoy the 40 or whatever. So yeah, it's really a huge variety when it comes to tobacco culture in Italy. So I'm really grateful, Giacomo, not only for the package and things you sent me, but for the world you opened for me by doing that. And I really have to apologize for being so late on showing these things. So, yeah. But I tried to come back to you and send you a little something. Try to pack up some pipe tobaccos you probably can't get in Italy. So house tobaccos from Ronnie's shop and something like that. I just made a little temper for you. I'm gonna send that to you. I want to show you that. So I call that the Italian cross. I don't know if you like that, but so I made this from a piece of Sicilian olive wood, and I thought that might be fitting for you. Sending that back to Italy to you. Sending this piece of olive tree back to where it belongs, to Italy, and just take it as a sign as a sign of respect from a German to all the Italian pipe smokers, pipe makers, people who are into tobacco, who have my deepest respect, really, for what you do. This is just great. What you did for the world of tobacco. I just wanted to mention that. So that's it for today. I think that was probably too long again. But anyway, maybe you're interested in the Italian world of tobacco, and hope you all are alright. Hope you have something good to chew on. Maybe some Kentucky stuff. Could be even good for the summer. And if you sit down with one of these tobaccos, you enjoy the evening having some good friends, maybe a bottle of wine or whiskey, or some Italian coffee, Italian roasted coffee. That's something really great to enjoy with one of these Kentucky tobaccos, of course. So if you sit down and you have the stars above you and it's a mild and warm night, you might think, well, this is like being in Italy. So, take care, guys. Hope you're well, and perhaps see you again.